Hey, what's up, guys? Rafe Realm with Fatal Streams here with a Slam Zone Sports review of 2022's Deadline NXT show on December 10th. And boy, you should just name this Deadline Sleepville USA because that's what I was doing. This was just can we just honestly say this was overhyped, way oversold? I think Fatal should be royally disappointed and I should be royally disappointed. I thought Eric Young was showing up here. I thought he was going to show up at the end because they looked like they signed him. He was WWE bound. It looked like they advertised so many different people for the show. And I was left with, if this is NXT, the brand new black and gold or white and gold or whatever this ain't it, Chief. Like, I'm really disappointed. I'm going to tell you the NXT that I remember is not the same now. And I'm going to give this to AEW tonight. AEW did a better show overall. I went from, wow, this is great wrestling to, oh, wow, I felt I was watching a really slow version of Monday Night Raw. I don't know how Fatal feels. How do you feel, Fatal, about this? How do you feel, Fatal?
I feel the same way you do. I feel like it was really boring.
This was like a slow Raw. This was like a slow, worse than Raw I've ever seen in my life. So the
It was
NXT,
very acrobatic and very circusy.
I'm going to tell you NXT. So Apollo Crews comes out. They sell him as he's going to beat Braun Breaker. We had a bunch of tie-ups technically in the main event. Bunch of tie-ups to the point to where I'm sitting here. When do we get into the meat and potatoes of the match? There was no middle, beginning, or end. There was no storytelling. And then it just ended with a spear, 1, 2, 3, and Waller coming out and doing Waller things and then holding the title belt going, I'm run this bitch. I run the show. That ain't it, Chief. And if this is Shawn Michaels' version of NXT, this is bad. This ain't good. They need to be in arenas. I'm not kidding you. This is the crowd was fake to me. It came off forced. Like I'm watching the crowd. I don't know if
It
I
looked
don't.
like a performance center crowd.
It looked really bad. The match of the night, I'm just gonna go here, is gonna be Pretty Deadly versus the New Day. That was the only match that I really kind of was invested in. That kind of kept me. Oh, hey, I was intrigued. And I would say the women's, whatever that we're calling this, Survivor, and to see how the match. Okay, so they claim this is the first match of its type, right? They claim this. This has been done already before. King of the Mountain Championship matches have been done like this. So for Shawn Michaels to come out and say, this has been done before, this has been done, this is history. No, Impact's been doing this. Impact does this with the King of the Mountain. I was just surprised they didn't put a King of the Mountain Championship, called it NXT King of the Mountain, and made our Queen of the Mountain title on the line. I was like, when I was watching this, Fatal was like, I did cooking and whatnot and doing a million things as he was watching it. And I turned around and I don't know if you guys heard me say this, but I said, where's the Queen of the Mountain Championship? I kept saying that. Where is it? Because it sucked. Like the match in itself was slow. I'm not trying to tear NXT down, but it needs to get better. Like, if this is, Fatal told me, like, that's like, picture Ice, everything Vince McMahon did, and them trying to melt everything to make it better. If this is their attempt to try to make it better, it's not good. It's really not that great. I'm hoping when they get out of the Capitol Center and into the Spectrum, arena next month with Vengeance, or whatever they're calling it, Vengeancy or whatever, I'm hoping they do better writing. Because whoever was scripting this, They don't know what we want. Like, for real, they seriously don't know what we want, you know? So, I mean, I'm just going to go through the match card. Braun Breaker did win the championship match. The Iron Man survival, it had a beginning, middle, and end. Axiom was the wrestler of the night in that match. But Grayson Waller won that match. I mean, he kind of took a pin and then came back and then, you know, won 2 more falls after that. So good on Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller is up and coming talent for NXT. I could see him totally taking the belt off of, but they did tease. Fatal was talking about it to me before even the show started. He was talking to me about the fact that, NXT was supposed to have this wild card. Where was it? They sold us on the whole idea of a wild card. Everybody thought Eric Young was supposed to be here. That was what the disappointment to me was. You didn't have the flashy, oh my God, he's showing up in NXT, you know, kind of like, or something, you know, like when you watch NXT, right, you think of Ciampa versus Gargano, right? And then you picture something happening, fuckery happening at the end. You didn't get it here. I was waiting for it. And if this is what premium live events are for NXT, I'm nervous for their product going forward. Like, this wasn't good. And you have 3 top guys running it. You have Shawn Michaels, you have Watman, and you have Road Dogg. Road Dogg is back in NXT. And it's just, I don't know what to say. You got 3 brilliant minds from the Attitude Era that honestly can't write. It just seems like it's poor scripting or poor writing. I don't know. One of the two. But, yeah, the match of the night goes to the New Day to me. Fatal, how do you feel? What do you giving match of the night to? Ella Dawn versus Fire, I would say the second one of the night. That was another good match. I really enjoyed the back and forth with that, but the crowd wasn't feeling it. I was kind of feeling it. Fatal, final thoughts? Me giving final thoughts here. Fatal, final thoughts?
Doing something.
Give me 1 second.
Got you. But yeah, this whole pay-per-view wasn't built properly. I mean, I watched all the NXT leading up to this, the go-home shows, the things like that, stuff like that, and whatnot. So, but yeah, that was pretty much NXT. Yeah, that was pretty much NXT's. Review for me. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a solid C-. I'm gonna be fair. C-. I think is fair. I wasn't really buying this pay-per-view. Thank God that they have it on Peacock, because if this was $50, I would cry. This was pretty bad overall as a review, but this is, if you're just browsing and watching a show, then this is pretty worth it. But really, overall, the women's match, couple super kicks. The referee was coughing out some black blood, and stuff like that. So, anyway, so that's the review for NXT. Like I said before. I like NXT, but they got a lot of work ahead of them to fix. Anyway, this has been SlamZoneSports giving you guys a quick review of NXT Deadline. This will be up on YouTube, wherever you get your videos at, on my channel. And guys, come out and check out SlamZoneSports if you haven't. Make sure to check out SlamZoneSports. Long day of wrestling watching it. Personally, I was more into AEW than I was Deadline, and Deadline just kind of I was on the hype train, and then it just fizzled me out. I think it's either too much wrestling for me, or it's the fact that NXT just wasn't that good. It was like, I will say this: AEW had me going with the tag match and everything, and then everything just fell apart once Deadline came on, and after Tony Khan's long drawn out media scrum coming down, it was just like, ugh. But that's our review for Deadline. I can't wait for NXT on Tuesday so I could see who the hell is their women's and men's wild card. I'm fascinated to see who they bring in. Is Fatal back?
Yeah.
Overall thoughts? I know you. I know
I
you're.
mean, it pretty much NXT was what it was expected, at least on my side.
I don't know.
I
You are.
expected it to
I
be
think you're
kind of boring.
disappointed.
It's just not excited anymore.
I think you're
It's just not
disappointed.
exciting. It used to be intense. The matches used to be really knocked down and drag out and told a story and were really exciting and intense. And the intensity is just gone. I don't know. It's an acrobatic circus.
You know why that is, right? You know why that is. They're not bringing in indie talent anymore. I can tell you why part of that is. They're
Like
not bringing indie talent
none of them
anymore.
want to hit each other anymore. It seems like NXT's just gone soft, you know? Like they used to be a big gang of heavy hitters and people who want to go out there and just beat the shit out of each other while telling a story and being good at what they do. Now it's just a bunch of flips and kicks and okay, I'm gonna do a moonsault, but I'm not really gonna hit you, but I'm
Right.
gonna depend on you to sell it, like I did, even though it's gonna feel like I didn't even touch you.
Well,
Oh,
there was 5 botches. There was 3 botches in that final match though.
that one match, yeah.
I watched Braun
That one
Breaker,
fucking final match.
and this is who you want to bring up to the main roster right now is Braun Breaker, and he can't even put on a
No.
solid match at all.
No. And if he would have dropped the title tonight to Apollo Crews, guaranteed Braun Breaker would have took a month off. He would have shown up at the Rumble. He probably would have got fucking eliminated by The Rock. And then there would have been nothing from him for a while. Nothing.
He's not
Nothing
ready.
worthy.
And here's the other thing: you got Grayson, whatever his name is, not Grayson. Grayson Stevenson, the guy that they're pumping up during the Kurt Angle celebration birthday thing in the Performance Center. If this is what they're pumping out of WWE going forward, I'm
They got to
nervous.
change.
They got to
Yeah,
change.
they got to
This is
change
bad.
something because, yeah, it's really bad.
And
Really, really, really bad.
here's another thing. They're not pulling indie talent anymore. They're pulling people from gymnastics and college athletes. If this is what they're going
Yeah.
for, this is not good. I don't
And
know.
these college wrestlers and stuff like that, and Olympic wrestlers, they don't know how to put on a show.
No.
They know how to get in there and slam people and put somebody in a headlock, yes. They do that all day long. But when it comes to the crowd, they block that shit out because they're trained to.
Yep.
When you're on an Olympic team for wrestling or you're on a pro wrestling just for the sport of it, they literally train you and ingrain it into your brain to block out the crowd because it will distract you and you will get pinned.
I will say the 2 matches of the night do go to that women's single match. They had somewhat storytelling, and I would honestly tell you the New Day match was good. I would say the men's, what are we calling it? Battle Survivor, guys. They're bringing Survivor the show to NXT. I'm kidding. Um, um, I'm cracking a lot of jokes. The reason for it is the reason why we're being so harsh. We come from NXT Black and Gold. There will be no ever Black and Gold ever again. And even Fatal pointed out to me at the very beginning, why is there no black ring? Why are we still doing colors? Look at the the presentation. If you look at the presentation, it should be a black ring with gold ropes. And all their promos show that. And it's like when you go to watch it, you're just disappointed. You're left going, "Oh."
And this is why we're disappointed is because when you look at Raw and you look at SmackDown,
Right.
management changed and so did the product along with it. NXT, management changed, the product did not.
Well, okay, so management changed on main roster, right? SmackDown is the bar right now. Raw sucks. Like, Raw is wishy-washy. 1 week it's good, 3 weeks it's bad, 1 week it's good, 3 weeks it's bad. That's how it's been. And, and I don't want to give Triple H an L, but you need to do better. This is, I hope next year going into 2023 with all these shows going live now and we're getting into arenas, you do better. I
Like
will
you
get,
took an L today.
he
You
took an
took an
L.
L today, fucking by fucking Ring of Honor. I mean, let that fucking sink in. You know,
Yeah.
you took an L by Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor put on a better show than Deadline, and they went first.
And can I tell you, they had match of the year candidate? I'll just tell you right now, match of the year to FTR and the Briscoes. Like, literally, they put on 3 matches of the year. And how are they not watching? Here's my question. If you're Shawn Michaels or Triple H, right? How are you not
You're not
watching?
watching this shit? Yeah. You're not on there watching this shit.
Like, how are
Yeah.
you not watching this before you go live and going, hey, maybe we need to tweak something to make our show, wow, they blew the house off and they gave us the respect of going first.
Yeah.
How do you not watching that?
And meanwhile, while ROH did beat Deadline, the media scrum kind of put a big damper on everything because yes, the show was good, but I don't feel like it's worth my $9.99 a month.
All right, so what I'm going to do here is, guys, thank you guys for watching. This will be up on everything. After we get done, we're going to go right into the Ring of Honor review. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. Come out and check out Slam Zone Sports. This stuff will be updating. I'll be updating tonight for you guys, so you guys can have stuff on Slam Zone as well. Facebook is coming soon. I will make sure that's up and available to you guys if you want to go over on Facebook and like us up. Instagram coming soon, things like that. We're working on it. TikTok, all of that coming. I just figured out, and I have Windows has an app so you can make TikTok videos and clips. I love that. So I'll be using that to do our little Slam Zone tidbits if we decide to do something in the future. Thank you guys for stopping in. We're going to go right into the Ring of Honor review.